boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Oh, we're back.
What's up?
Not much, man. Mad Matters Podcast, episode 31. With Nate and myself.
Dang, 31? That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yes, going by fast.
It is. It is.
Yep. For today's topics, we started to go a little green and talk about ecological training jiu-jitsu. According to my Google research right before I started this episode, said it's a mindset of philosophy that emphasizes adaptability, flexibility, and harmonious connection with one's training environment. So, do you understand what is ecological jiu-jitsu?
I have a pretty limited understanding about it. I mean, granted, it really is funny because you asked me about it maybe a week ago, something like that. Asked me if I'd ever heard about it, and I hadn't. I hadn't even heard the term. And then since then, it's been brought up quite a few times in quite a few different conversations. And my understanding is that it's like essentially putting students together in certain situations and trying to get them to develop their own methods of getting out of certain positions, or I don't know if finishing submissions is also part of it. I'm really not sure, but to me it kind of seems like reinventing the wheel. You're maybe not focusing on specific techniques, which there's a reason they're techniques, and there's a reason they've been developed and taught. It's because they work. So it's a little confusing to me. I don't know. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think I heard the same thing. It's about they want to instead of drilling an arm bar, they want to start in that position like a close guard. So you can practice just not on the arm bar, but you can practice arm bar, triangle, or omoplata. So you can try and do 3 different moves. But if you don't understand what those 3 moves are, just start from close guard. How many, for example, when you start a new person, they're like, oh, we start in close guard. They don't even know what close guard is. So let alone how they're supposed to learn submissions from that position. And it is counterintuitive of that mindset of have your drillers make killers. Because you drill and drill it in for example, the mental pathway we talk about, not just usable other sports. That's you develop that muscle memory and also the pathway for learning how to put moves together. In which, in the ecological jiu-jitsu, you're kind of learning for your mistakes, but the hard way. Because
Right.
how many times you ever gone in jiu-jitsu in a competition class and try to remember that role that you did at the beginning of the class? And that's when you know it moves. Imagine trying to figure that out whenever you a beginner in class.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, especially in the beginning, even just small things like how to move your hips is not obvious to me. I don't know, learning a specific move and then having somebody tell you, oh, well, this is how you should be moving your hips for that, speeds up that process a lot. Eventually, yeah, you kind of learn with a new move that you've never done before, you learn a little bit more about how to move your body to make it work. But early on, I mean, there's so much that you're learning. I don't think, I feel like just throwing yourself into it is probably not the best idea, especially since I've heard a few black belts at least talk about how if they were to tell somebody new what to do, it would be to learn moves correctly, not just throwing up and drilling moves sloppily, but pay very close attention to each move that you make so that you learn it well, so that you develop the muscle memory, like you're saying.
I mean, with the drills that we do, we not just learn how to do the drills, but also learn how to safely do those moves. For example, takedowns. How are they supposed to learn how to break fall? How are they supposed to learn how to no get hurt and things like that while they're
Okay,
this is a lot. That's why.
that makes sense.
But whenever we do certain moves, hey, when you do this move, make sure you do this way, don't do it the other way. first of all, do like Kimura, make sure you don't, because you're gonna hurt your partner, like for real, because, or you're gonna get hurt yourself trying to roll the wrong way. But if you're doing it like in that with that approach, it seems like you're more likely to get hurt because I've been doing jiu-jitsu in this year for 10 years, and so many people have given up in jiu-jitsu within the first 6 months because they got hurt doing moves that we actually learned to do. And just like freak accidents sometimes happen, but with this, just you're bound to get hurt doing silly shit.
Yeah, that's yeah. Especially like if you try to apply this with like leg
Oh
entanglements,
yeah,
whew, I cannot imagine. Uh, no, yeah, 100%. That's very true. I think the injuries would be a lot more prone. I could see, so if you applied it in the sense of like, I could see leading a class like this. Like you say, you get somebody, have one person put the other person in an armbar and let them try to escape or something like that. Let them do that a few times and see how that goes. And then you teach an armbar escape. Maybe to like something like that would drive the importance of like, oh, that's why I would do this. Maybe that's not the best example. I could see doing something like that, but still like definitely married very closely with technique that is,
yeah, that's true. I agree with that because you have to learn technique. Like it's okay for like higher belts to do because we do that anyways. Kind of like ecological jiu-jitsu. It's like situations. That's what it is. That we do like spider guard, starting from De La Riva. That's what it is. We have name for it. For new people, is because the game is so broad. They call it the gentle arts because we have control to a certain extent while practicing it. But if you don't know what you're doing, what your limits are going, or the other guys doing it anyways, this is what's gentle about it.
right, right. I guess that makes even more sense for like for upper belts to do something like that. For one thing, we've been exposed to a lot of different techniques. So there's a lot of ideas going on, and really a lot of the exploration that we do in different situations is based off those techniques. Maybe it's slightly modified, but it's probably based off something that we've seen. In that sense, I mean, it's not even really developing anything new. It's just like trying different things that might complement your game. And yeah, I do like the mindset of there's not always a right way to do something. There's just, certain body styles are more prone to doing things differently. I think that's true, but yeah, I mean, I do think there is right and wrong technique,
Yeah.
and there's been a lot developed.
For
So,
example, like that guy that was trying to do, I think he was trying to do a roller guard and he dislocated his hip, or like I think he broke his femur to a roller guard in a tournament.
oh
Role
my
plays trying to
God.
find out that you're not a flex. Should have
Yeah.
practiced that. Should
Oh
have
my
practiced that in
gosh.
practice
Yeah.
because how it's freaking strong. His femur is the strongest bone in the body.
Hmm.
Broken. That's spiral fracture, and that
Yeah. Yeah. Clearly. Yeah.
yeah, it's like yeah, like technique is there for a reason. You have to practice that, like getting to your brain. That's another thing I was thinking about last week, like conditioning, like some classes that do conditioning during class. Would you rather do the conditioning, doing conditioning calisthenic, or do the conditioning by moving somebody at drilling moves, like for times, for example, 3 minutes, or like 2 minutes go one person, then 2 minutes the other person? Because you're in the sport of moving somebody with low resistance instead of just doing calisthenic. Like, how many times you be able to push up on somebody or go
Right.
squat on somebody?
Yeah. Hmm. So you're saying you like doing the calisthenics, or you like
The
doing
drills.
the the
Yeah,
drills?
because you try to get those reps in. And
Mhm.
because just like I think in strength conditioning, you start by doing a move, by doing just going to range of motion, just doing no resistance, and just try to get your range of motion. Once you get it, you try to do for like, have you heard Tabata? It's like 20 seconds, go 10 seconds rest. Basically, that one set is 30 seconds. So do for 4 minutes. So it's like eight rounds. But for this, I apply for jiu-jitsu because most take longer than 20 seconds to
Right.
open
Right. Yeah.
but if you do it like for wrestling, do it for 2 minutes. Just try to do the same move, like without like no resistance. And then eventually, once you're able to, you have the move down, no resistance at all. There's no time limit. Then you do with time limit because you would like not be able to do how many reps you can do within that time period. And then eventually you would do, then you do resistance like competition. You try to do it, that move.
Yeah.
And then kind of like that. And then eventually, once you're able to get there, another between probably be the, well, probably be after the resistance part, the competition part. You just play around, like the play roll, use like floor roll, because you could be able to see that move there, and like those are trying to like move around. That one right there is just no resistance, basically. Just trying to, by time, just trying to, 5 minutes, just floor roll, trying to get as many as possible without having like just for submission.
Yes. No, that makes sense. I think that does take something of a special mentality. I have heard the counter argument to that, and to be honest, I haven't done enough. No, I don't feel like I'm super experienced in the area, but I've heard the counter argument to like drilling for cardio or conditioning is that you're more prone to getting injured during that time. Although I suppose you're saying doing it without resistance, so I guess that would kind of counter that. That wouldn't really be as big of a thing.
It also helps because for time, you learn how to do it without time. You have to do it without time. You're able to get that movement down. So you have, by the time you get it right with a time limit, you know how to do move. But if you go straight to your sport time, you're like, okay, I'm gonna show you this move. Yeah, you're gonna hurt
Yeah.
yourself. Like especially weights. You have somebody like do, for example, like a snatch, and you don't show how to do it. Just like swinging their torso all over the place, pull their back the next day, just by picking up something, because they didn't go through the movement.
Yeah. That makes sense. I can see that. Is that pretty commonly done in like wrestling
Some,
training or
some they do it like that. In
okay.
college they do it, but if it's like time for too close to competition, some school they want to focus more on calisthenics because the high guys they have to make weight. And their brains are very crowded with other things going on. Or fun with technique might be too much, but other people like over technique. For example, like some fighters, you see hit mid work when trying to cut weight, just try to get their combos and just to like keep their mind in the game. It's like no resistance, just be boom boom boom. Try because you might is moving and it's sport specific at the same time.
Yes, right. That's true. I mean, to be honest, I've not really played around with like doing moves for time, but it makes sense. So you're like when you how do you set that up or how is that normally set up? Like so you have drilled the move a bunch, you know how to do it. Um then it's just like boom, you have 60 seconds to get this many done or
No, just usually if it's like a movement just by yourself, you can go for 6 seconds. But it's like a movement you have to do with somebody, help them, like move them around. Probably 2 minutes because you have to set up before you're getting up. So for a takedown, take somebody down, then you get up, get back into the position, go do your move for the takedown, then go back up before you move around. Like that. Um, one thing I like is doing like 30 minutes of learning some moves, like a specific move. Just break down 3 moves, 10 minutes each. Just break down those moves, and then do for the next 30 minutes, just 2 minutes of just break down in 3 series. So break down for part like 10 minutes, just so that'd be like 5 rounds, takedowns. Then 5 other minutes, it'll be 2 minute rounds of on top, working top moves. And then the other one would be bottom. So you get your sweeps or your submissions or different things from bottom. So top, I mean, takedown, top and bottom, because it's kind of like cover most of them,
Right.
most of the position. Basic, and then you of course you got different positions you can start. You can start for top, you mount, you can do side control, you can do back. And then from bottom, you can do different guards that you can work on.
Yeah, cover all your bases. Do I suppose that also gets your mind prepared to do some thinking in the correct field whilst being tired.
Yeah,
So I guess
because
that's
you see the open, you're ready to move for like 2 minutes, and then when you see the open, you're about to get the move right there, like situational awareness. And then after that, just do 30 minutes of live. That'd be
okay.
the
Yep.
perfect. That would be the perfect open mat. Just 30 minutes technique, 30 minutes just drilling, and then 30 minutes live. That's a full class right there.
Yeah, it's
You
solid.
cover a lot of stuff
Yep.
there.
For sure. Yeah. Yep. I mean, yeah. No, that is cool.
And also help you. Like for example, if you did competition class early on the week, then like the open mat, you go to that position during the drilling part. Okay, so I was stuck in this position. I need to drill in this position. How to get out there, or how to like improve my position or get better at it. That helps you that too. So the next time you're in that position, you know what to do.
Right. Right. It's valid. Yeah. It's definitely gives you an opportunity to look for those positions as well. I mean, like you're saying, like I've been in this before, I had trouble, but also there's I don't know. I do enjoy in classes whenever we go over a technique is like I'll be trying to look for ways that I can use that in the live rolls afterwards. I mean, that probably seems obvious, but I don't know. I really, really like looking for a move of the day, trying to move of the day, trying to do the move of the day on people while it's fresh in their minds. I don't know. That's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, because they know this coming. That's not that's coming.
Yeah.
Like just it was yes, that was Tuesday. Nate coming in a double trouble clover. It's not the Texas. They call it Texas clover. So I was trying to fight. I was trying to kick, and both of my feet got caught. And I was wearing my shoes. So we went for the Texas clover. So instead of twerking my bottom foot, he was doing a toho on the top foot. I was like, damn it, I'm stuck here. And then he went belly down, and then it was game over for that. Belly down. No, yeah,
Yeah.
and
No.
then we were
No.
going after the round. We were going over. I was like, okay. So then after that, I went against somebody else, and I got the same moves. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Revenge.
I would sleep now. But
That's funny.
but yeah, man, like it is satisfying whenever you learn new moves. Yeah, that's what keeps entertaining you, just because you learn new moves and you are practicing like whenever you go live against somebody.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a little
Yep. Helps.
dopamine hit. That's what it's like.
Yeah. For sure. 100%. Helps me remember it better. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons that I feel good about doing
And
that.
now, have you ever had chance sometimes whenever they go over some moves, like, oh yeah, I remember I used to do that move before, and like you like brings back like whenever you do certain moves, like, oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done that in a while.
yeah.
Like, give that a shot again. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. And like, it's also fun too. Is like, I'm trying to think what it was this week. Oh, we were going over some like several sweeps. Did the pendulum sweep? We did a couple different sweeps from gift wrap, which is kind of cool. It's difficult to do it, but if you can get somebody's arm wrapped around their head, we went over some sweeps with that. Different attacks that you could do from there. I'm trying to remember what it was. There was one that I had to work to get to the position, and then I had to do the move, and I was able to do it a few different times. I was like, all right, like this. I wish I could remember what it was.
Except from the PLC.
It was a sweep, but I wasn't the pendulum, I don't think. We covered a few different ones.
No, I love
Wow.
sweeps
Yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
you feel like getting smothered, and then you just like, whoop, just send them.
Yeah.
My turn.
Plus, if yeah, and if you do it well, it's very demoralizing because you end up in really good position where they were just in really good position, and it's like, oh, like if you do that in competition, oh, that's
Yeah,
fire.
especially because for bigger guys, they have worked so hard for the takedown. In the
Mhm.
takedown, and they're on top. It's like, oh, finally got it, and then you get swept. It's like shit.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, I did work from here. It's even
Yeah,
worse.
yeah. It's demoralizing. Like oh, Russian.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
in wrestling, they call that like in wrestling. Whenever a big guy goes to his back, that's it. They get paid immediately. There's no getting out of there. Do you do a lot of submissions from your back?
No, no, not a lot.
I try to get better at that because I have like some guillotines, I have armbar and things like that. Kimuras, of course, but I usually tend to go more sweeps.
Yeah, I do as
It feels
well.
like more energy efficient being on top than being on bottom.
That's kind of my thing is I feel like there's just way more options from the top. I don't know, I've been in a lot of matches where like early on, I felt like I was trying to attack from the back a lot because I felt safe there, but then I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because they got to pass my guard, which I feel like to me is the easier job. The attacks from top are just so much more dominant in my opinion. Um, yeah, I don't know. To me, that's the way to go. Sweeps, and then I mean, there's a few like I'll threaten something to get a sweep usually. But yeah, there's not a whole lot that I attack aggressively from the bottom.
And you notice that most of the submissions from the bottom have to be lined up with somebody, except for like maybe armbar. But all the other ones you have to be lined up. Like you have to start from being lined up, like for example, in your guard or things like that. Because for side control, it's hard for you to, unless like you can do a boogie show, of course. Most of the submissions, you have to be lined up with somebody. Guillotine, most of the line up with somebody. We start Kimura, you have to be lined up with somebody. Plata.
I mean, yeah, omoplata. Yeah, I feel like a lot of them you have to get an angle for though.
Yeah, eventually you have to get angle, but you have to start from like line up with them. Oh, from top you can get side control, you can get mount, neo belly, you can get north south, and it's for all of
Mhm.
those. But from bottom, it feels like you have to be literally like head to head
Right. That's true. That's interesting. No, I hadn't really thought about that.
because you have to control the posture. Because if they
Right.
get an angle on you, it's hard for you. You have to line up back again. Try
Hmm.
like yo to control the posture for submissions.
That is interesting. Yeah, probably you're right. Is it? That's exactly it. The just controlling the posture is the first thing, and then you can move from there.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I hadn't really considered that before, but
Yeah, I think about it either, but like because I remember a lot of whenever shout out to the Fox, Silver Fox, he talks about like whenever you try to do submissions of that, try to get like try to get perpendicular. Don't try to be aligned or try to go for submissions that not align with the opponent. Just make it difficult for them to switch the position on you.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, obviously you got to be more stable if you're
Uh-huh.
not. Interesting. That's a cool way to look
Yeah,
at
because you're
it.
taking one side of the body instead of
Right. Well, I mean, the whole point of jujitsu is to isolate some part of their body with your entire body, and then they can't. There's really nothing they can do at that point. Usually,
Mhm.
that is interesting. Almost everything ends up with to do it well. You are perpendicular.
Mhm. Americana from top. It's perpendicular. I'm no arm.
Kimura's top and
Yeah,
bottom.
no arm guillotine. You have to be perpendicular.
Hmm.
Inside heel hook. You have to be perpendicular because you have to start from was it honey hole? So
Yeah,
you're perpendicular to them.
that's interesting. Fundamental. That's probably in the Gracie's. What do they call it? They came out with a curriculum for
Aggressive
jiu-jitsu. And it's
University.
like, that might be it. But they had like a certain like number of fundamental techniques. I bet that's in there.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
because
Huh.
and like whenever he doesn't play a lot of close guard, so he's trying to go for split guard, and when he usually switches steps, and you kind of like like a side guard or like clam guard, because you'll be lined up with them from bottom, go for attacks in case he's getting stacked in a split guard. You can go to like perpendicular guard or go for your pendulum sweep, take the armor from there. But sometimes control the posture where you gotta.
It is interesting. I think that's probably why closed guard is so limited then. Another reason why it is. I mean, you can control posture, but there's not many attacks from closed guard. I
Unless
feel
you
like.
have a key, because you have
True.
like some
True.
grips. You have to lower down a
Mhm.
little bit. You have to have some control the posture. But in no gi, it's a hard time.
That's the thing. Like a lot of the time, closed guard is I'll use it to get my bearings, and then from there I'll switch to half guard. Like I don't even want full guard.
So that you do it like to get one side of the body.
Exactly.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago I was doing gi. Yeah, I did something that I usually don't try. Like in no gi, I didn't even try. But I just with one knee down, I just grab the sleeve and just roll perpendicular right to the armbar from bottom. Like I was standing. I was able to get it. It's like I will never be able to do that in no gi because
Right.
you had no grip.
So you were
On
where?
my knee, just one knee down because they were saying no wrestling. Okay, but the guy was standing, so I just pulled the lapel and just inverted and just jumped to the armbar. I just
Yeah.
instead of pulling the arm, I just jumped my legs up, and once I was able to control his posture with my legs and pull and finish the armbar just by sweeping him. But there's no way to be able to do that because once I get over there, the wrist.
Right. Right. 100%. Yeah. The grips are just so fast in the no-gi. They don't last long at all. They're so temporary.
And you can just grab
Um,
a sleeve and just put it across their hip and throw a triangle from there, and you have a good triangle right there. And just
right. Yeah, we did that. What was it? Did like a lasso guard thing yesterday in the gi, and like where they reach their arm between your legs when they're trying to pass, and you grab the right on the end of their sleeve. Dude, I went against some way bigger dudes. They had easily 100 pounds on me, and I had that grip. They couldn't break it. It's crazy the grips that you have in the gi. You know what I mean?
Leonard Scoop.
He is very, yeah. I remember him teaching us that one.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's like, for example, I usually like to like thread my arm through there whenever I'm trying to pass cigar to pin the hips down. You have a key, you can just jump to armbar from there immediately. I thought that's a triangle too. I think he likes to go for a triangle from there.
yep, I can see that. Yeah, we went over like a omoplata that you could go to from there, a triangle. Um, Obviously the sweep. Um, but yeah, it's really crazy because they had to start in that position. One of us starts down, the other one starts up, and then you switch partway through, and just yeah, the power of those grips is unbelievable. Because like I'm not even working that hard, really holding that gi, even against a guy that's way bigger, way stronger than me. It's all of a sudden he can't use his arm.
Especially when you get the knuckles involved. When you get a grip and you get the knuckles involved, that grip is not going anywhere. Because
Right.
usually if you just right here, it's going to hurt you knuckle with your fingers. But you just able to get your knuckles in there and just hold that sleeve, like you're going nowhere, running. That's what like if that's like how strong these are. But like in regular life, it would be hard for you to get somebody's sleeve that good without that shirt ribbon.
Yes, yes. Right. I mean, at the best, I'm thinking like a hoodie or something, you're gonna stretch it like crazy. You might not rip it, but it'll stretch a lot. And then their arm is not gonna be there to
They
armbar.
just pull
But
the arm out of the sleeve.
yeah,
fighting, and somebody, for example, like I've seen a lot of videos of shoplifter whenever they grab him and they just like take off their hoodie and just take off their jacket and just take off running, so they get a hold
Yeah.
of them,
Yeah.
kind of like that. Just like it's kind of difficult getting a good grip, like in a street, for example, using gi jiu-jitsu, unless who see somebody does. I see some matches that they do in suits in like,
I've seen that recently. Mm-hmm.
what is this? The
That,
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen's?
it would be interesting to try. I mean, you're bound. Yeah, it interesting to see because I mean it's the real deal.
You're allowed to
But
pull the
I would think you'd have to be able
I
to.
would have clip on time, right?
Sorry, man, I don't know how to tie him.
Yeah. But yeah, like I would go over there with my freaking Goodwill suit. Don't want to go show up over there with a Taylor suit because oh fuck it up.
Yeah, so fast. Be good for one time,
Yeah.
then you're done.
And they're wearing shoes too. It doesn't
Really?
matter. I've seen they're wearing shoes too. And which I've seen some instructionals, black and white, like videos from back in the day, in which they're doing jiu-jitsu instructions for like the gi, and people wearing also like suits during instructions. So you're like how applicable. Also judo's instructions where people wearing suits, like how applicable you're able to hold the lapel of the suit and do those techniques.
I bet some suits would be able to hold up to like lapel chokes. The, obviously some would not, but I think some probably would hold up to that. Some of the thicker ones.
But it looks like fun.
It does. It does. I agree. Looks hot though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
My question is, do you like have two competitions going on? One's for style, one is for the winner of the grappling, or
I know, right? Because Fight to Win, they do that, right? Well, the coolest game, they do a shout out, like Gi of the Night.
do they?
Yeah, they're doing it on the Instagram.
Wow.
They do like somebody had like I guess like a tie one. No, the guy had a quill. He had a gi that looked like a quill, different pieces.
Oh, okay.
Just I think it was Carolina Blue. That's what it was.
That's fun.
Yeah, they had like Gi of the Night, tie dyes and stuff like that.
See, yeah. You got to make people compete for both. That'd be cool.
They have red carpet showing up to the match. What are you wearing today?
Yeah. You do your strut out into the pit, and then that's where the fight happens.
Came straight from my grandmother's funeral. Same soon. I had to return after this. So hopefully I win.
It's a rental.
Where's it go? Justin Bank? I said Joseph Bank? Did that do soon?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, that reminds me of, have you seen there's the videos of like a Japanese courtroom or something like that?
Yes.
And two of the guys just start doing judo on each other in their suits.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you could, like, it's funny because the one that I saw, it looked like they both trained, and they both were like going after it. And one guy eventually got a good throw on the other.
Shit.
Full suits.
Hell yeah, man. See, like, they get, and he's like, I remember in Panama, I was there, they, like, the recording, it was like the House of Representatives. Suddenly they were arguing, they got into a fight. It's a big melee in there, or some law they're trying to pass and stuff like that. I've seen those happening, but they were just throwing just pinky punches, just like.
Yeah.
But you see, when you see him like doing judo, it's like, oh hell yeah, I want to see this one because there's no one to do it.
Right? Yeah, might learn something here.
Yeah. So watch surround. Do you want to land on a freaking chair when you're back? Once you're back.
Yeah. Might be the last time you ever get thrown.
Yeah. That's the last ride right there. Do you like throws?
Like throws? Not that I'm good at them, but yeah. I mean, I feel like when they're done well, they give you a massive advantage. Because it takes a lot out of you to get thrown. Usually there's a little bit of time in there between getting thrown and being able to recover enough to like get your guard back or stuff. So I feel like when they're executed well, they're definitely a big advantage.
And I like throws, but it feels like sometimes I feel like I'm out of position once they're landing because they're so far. Like, oh man, because you have to control their hips and things like that.
Yes.
They want to land in a good
Yep.
position. You want to land, like, for example, preferably side control instead of like going to the guard north south or something like that. But if you like throw somebody and they're across the mat, like, dude, you just took somebody.
True. Yeah.
One of my favorite throw is defending a single leg. Somebody grab my leg. Yeah, I just do a lateral. Step between the leg with the other leg. Boom.
Yeah.
Send. A lot of people like Ushimata.
Mhm.
Like yesterday, I got caught in that. Someone's trying to do Ushimata on me. Yes. No, that's like a wizard. So I have an underhook. They try to use a wizard and they do a kick back on the leg to
Yeah.
like try to like whip you over. I remember used to do like a headlock.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's almost a modified though, a modified Uchimata, because like what I'm seeing here is you grab the sleeve by the elbow,
Uh-huh.
and then you're grabbing the lapel right up by the neck with the other arm, and that's how you pivot and
Oh
you
yeah.
kick the leg back.
Yes.
Um,
He said, "Oh no, there's a guy that's a really like good judoka. He does that. That whenever he does it, his head's almost touching his foot.
seeing that guy,
How do
that is,
you're flexible and you're sending people when
yeah.
you do it?
I mean, those guys are athletes for sure, no doubt there.
Yeah, and they moving bodies.
Yeah. Unwilling bodies, like trained unwilling
Yeah,
bodies.
they have you noticed that I also set up a lot of the throws by try trip, and you
Yes.
super boom. That little
It doesn't.
that
So
little
what?
hop that they do, just little hop to close distance and
Mhm.
just boom, send you.
Yeah, it seems like the trips get the feet out from underneath your hips or out from underneath like your center of gravity, so, like gets them bent forward a little bit, and that's when they do the throws.
Which would be good for grappling. Because a lot of time that whenever you go against somebody that's used to wrestling, you want to get to keep their feet back and they're leaning over, and you usually want to T-bone their body at an angle and just throw them that way.
So yeah, if somebody, yeah, I think somebody who trained judo and trained wrestling, I think would be those. They would complement each other so well because they kind of, I think they cover their own cover each other's weaknesses. I should
Yeah.
say.
Who was it? Was it Jake Shields? Jake Shields was when he was going against Hector Lombard. Hector Lombard, every time he'll go for a double and he'll try to go for a body lock. Jake Shield, Hector Lombard was sending him his feet just here. He was a judo guy. I remember, well, recently I've seen the guy that he won worlds in judo and he's competing in college wrestling. And he did pretty good. And I remember once in college, there's this guy, Wisconsin Parkside. His name was cool. I hated going against him because he was a judo guy. I was mad because I like pushing forward, and that's the throws
Yeah,
come from there every time.
yeah, yeah. That's what they
Yeah.
want.
So you have to like time it like whatever you try to go for. You have balance because he's a long guy too. So try to get to the legs hard.
Yeah.
They just throw you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sweep you. You like for example trips.
Yes. Yeah. No, yeah, the guys with long legs are, you got to take several steps to get in, and they're trying to sweep your feet every time. That's hard.
Yeah, because you be like you step in and try to get your leg out again. By the time you try to get your leg out, they're sweeping that foot and pushing you that way. You're like, oh no, and you're on your side. This is demoralizing because that the way that the trip is different. Now you trip. Sometimes people just sweep the foot. They sweep like at the calf and hook the foot. So when you try to get your leg out, you can't because their foot is hooked on the back of your leg. You're like, ah shit. It's like
Yeah.
extra arm. They have
Yeah.
ah shit. So you can do an ankle pick with the foot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not
No,
fair.
because the time what's the name? Makachev is not he's good for that doing that trap. He did. I can't remember. It was somebody like that. Whenever he did a knee, like a throw a knee, and when he bring his foot down, he caught the foot as it's coming down and pushes it that way to get that takedown in line of draw.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Would you say, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. Would you say that trips are harder to learn, but are low risk, high reward?
It depends if you do it correctly, because you leave your leg there. Because you try to do a trip and you miss, you leave the leg there, they gonna grab the leg for take. Somebody's a wrestler, they gonna take you down with the leg you have there. Um, I seen some like Gordon Ryan. He was doing one of a underhook. So you underhook on one side, and the side that he has an underhook trying to do a trip. So in case you do miss the trip, yeah,
They
they
can't
can
grab.
grab.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
And then also, if the another thing was if he got underhook, get the trip, he missed the leg. So whenever the leg he was missed, he stepped back with the same leg because he doesn't have the leg. Both of them don't have the leg there. So snap down to the same where the leg was. He doesn't have it. So you turn him as he falling.
Hmm.
Kind of like the Russian whip.
Okay.
You try to do a Russian whip, you try to grab the leg. The leg's not there anymore. Just whip the arm to where that foot was. And you making them turn because they try to get the leg back. So the whole body's twisting at the same time.
Yeah.
Same thing with a snap down because you have the underhook on that side. So elevate on that side, boom, snap down, go to the back. Worst case scenario, also you can go arm drag because you switch to the side while snapping down.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like stand up is so much based on timing and proper setup. Whereas, I mean, I guess on the ground there's plenty of setup for stuff too. It's just I'm used to that
Yeah,
setup.
you
I
actually
guess that's probably
you have more time to do those on the ground because the guy's like right there. Compared to in and out when you're standing up, close to the distance, push and pull. The drill of the hitting arm or hitting like the moving around. Remember the drill that you guys practiced like some time ago? That's a good drill because our coach used to, like in college, he used to have us do that. They can move, push and pull. So you, whenever you're moving, your opponent, your arms and legs are moving at the same time like you're swimming. When you're swimming, you don't just move your arms, you move your legs too. So whenever you push, pull, move around. So whenever you try like, just like in judo, trying to do trips, this like keep him off balance. Just one side, pull the other side, push, pull, snap down. You did also snap down. Get him out of position, change level for a fake. You lower it down. You can try to get to the side. And then you try to fake again. He lowers level at the same time, but then he comes out of position again, just blast him from there. It just does timing. Just push, pull, just keep him like guessing, kind of like overwhelm their central nervous system. Don't know where your arms or legs are going.
makes sense. Yeah, that way they're on the guessing game. Dang, that's good. It's one of those things I'd really like to have more classes with it. I understand why we don't. Our mats, I mean, especially lately, has been full. Like there's not much space, so you can't really start standing. But it's very unfortunate. You can't.
Because most matches start standing.
Mm-hmm.
In a
Yep.
self defense scenario, you're also standing too.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, and that's been the downfall of some of my matches. Is my preferred method is passing guard, but I'm not great standing up. So unless they're a guard puller, I got my work cut out for me. You know what I mean? Which, if they're a guard puller, I mean, yeah, they might have a good guard, but I'm still more comfortable with that than standing up.
Yeah, very because he's a stationary. He's not going back under the ground. He's trying to pass the guard.
Yeah.
The guard's gonna be there. How do you deal with inverting?
with inverting.
Try to pass somebody guard, they just invert.
I mean, it kind of, to me, that's a little bit situational. I've had guys that like I try to pass and they just bring their knees up. But usually in that case, I'm trying to pin their leg to the side. You know what I mean? Because if this is their upper body and this is their legs, there's still a gap in the middle. You know what I mean? So if you can turn them sideways or if you can pin their legs to the side, it's not that big of a deal anymore. A lot of the time, like if somebody's inverting, I'll just lead with a knee. I'll go for like knee on belly and try to slide that in between as a wedge and then progress from there. Sometimes, I mean, if I can tell they're inverting and they're going to get back to where they need to be before I can take it, I'll just back off and restart. You know what I mean?
Back to the regular guard.
Yeah. Yeah, because there is a danger if they're inverting like that, they'll go after my legs. And that's typically not where I'm trying to go. So just backing off also works.
Yeah. I like to grab the ankles when they're invert.
Yes.
Pin the ankle to the mat.
Yep.
All
Yeah.
right, where we going now?
That is a good one.
Now they have to pick a side, which way they going.
Yeah. Right. And if they just want to sit there for a little while, it's fine.
So from there, I just pull the ankles like you pull a rug. So take their back from there.
Yes.
Come here.
Yeah, that's a good one for sure. I mean, that's one of those things. Like, I don't care how flexible you are. Well, maybe there's probably a few people who are just totally fine with it, but I feel like even a lot of the people who invert regularly aren't super comfortable being bent in half with pressure on top. You know what I mean? Like you're saying with their ankles pinned to the mat. So I'll just cook them there for a little bit, just give them a little bit of time and then
think about the consequences of the action.
Yeah. You want to be annoying? Okay. I'll be annoying too.
Yeah, there's a reason why your body's scary, most of the way is scary at your feet and not your head. Because when you invert, most of it is in your shoulders and your neck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It makes it harder to breathe. Yeah. It's funny. I used to invert. When I was a teenager, I would invert. I'd play guard like that. These days, no. My back can't take that anymore.
Ow.
If I do that, I feel it the next day.
Oh, I was thinking.
Exactly. Like that was not worth it. Looked cool at the time.
Yeah, I don't invert either. I haven't burned 2 weeks ago I did. But it's from somebody that's like a white belt. He was north side. We were starting for a north side position. So yeah, I'll be able to hit it from here. Yeah, I got a rear naked choke from there. From Inversion.
Did you come up onto the back?
Yeah, onto the back.
Yeah, yep.
It's like swing the hips one way and just go to the back, rear naked choke from there. But usually don't because my hands are so small, my arms are short, and the hips are so far away. So by the time I try to get my legs there, I have a lot of real estate to cover to get there.
Yeah.
So the time arrived. And then yesterday we started a trunk position. Trying started or try to go for attacks from there. Yes, damn it.
Started from trunk?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a rough starting spot.
Yeah, figure it out from there. It's like, man, I was going against Nick, so I just gave up and just went to the back. Like, my legs are short. There's nothing that I can give from here, man. His legs are long as hell. Mm-hmm. So there's not much I can do from here. You go to the back, good work from there. Because that's what you want to work on. That's more. Do you feel more control on the back or do you feel more control on the legs?
The back, for sure. You talking like just leg entanglements in general or?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely back, for sure. I feel like even recently, like our coach tries to drive it in pretty hard, like to go to the back, take the back, because it's a good position. And I feel like recently it's really starting to click how many ways you can get to the back. So I have started liking that quite a bit more. Because even if you don't get a sub from the back, usually it's pretty exhausting to fight out of, mentally and physically.
Something I haven't done lately, going to the back. I try to do the submission for the position. So whenever I get the back and get my hooks in, game over. You felt that before? Get the hooks in, just arch back. Hey, all right, man.
Yeah.
Just go.
Oh
Well,
God.
if yeah, I like when I get my hooks in and elevate, and their knees don't even touch the mat, just arching back. Damn it, you can't base up or nothing from there.
You're
You
right.
do a making you
Yeah.
do a scorpion from there.
Yeah. The belly down back take. Oh my God. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
brutal. That is.
that's the best position to get a rear naked choke because
Yeah.
they have to get the head up because
Right.
they're facing down.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, it's a massive distraction at the very least to have your back being arched up. Your legs can't touch the mats anymore. Like, yeah, that's a lot to go through.
Yeah, because basically, anytime your feet are on the mat, you have a chance for something.
Hmm.
You able to bridge, you able to shrimp, you able to do anything. But your feet are not touching the mat, your legs are not touching the mat. Forget about it.
Yeah, your powerhouses are gone.
There is a pin that Sahabi, I just remember about that. Sahabi, he has a pin from the side control position in which for side control, you're able to pin the far elbow with your forearm to give you option to go up and down on the elbow. If you try to go up or like palm up or palm down. The near side, you try to go underhook, and then with your hips, you try to slide up the femur towards the knee, so bring the knees to the other side of the body. You kind of doing like a spiral on their body. So basically, they're pinned like this. Their legs are facing away from you, so it's easy for you to go to take their back from there because they're facing away from you. Because their elbows pinned on the mat on the far side. You have underhook on this side. You're stretching me this way, and then the legs, as long as you bring the knees over to the side and the feet are not touching the mat, it's hard for them to like re-guard or anything like that. And the knees away, and mats at feet of the mat. Then from there you can
Okay.
go to the mount because sometimes they'll give you the mount because the knee are far out. They have to bring their knee, strain their legs to be able to re-guard back again. By the time they do that, you're mounting. Or if they keep their knees out of the way, just bring this elbow, the arm across, and you go straight to their back because you get the shoulder of the mat from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a name for that pin?
He calls Sahabi's pin, depending on what is instructional. But it looks so simple
That is interesting.
because on one side, when you walk the arm on the heading arm, do the same thing on the near side, walking the arm up, 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 and
Okay.
just pinning that far side elbow with your
Pinning the far side with your forearm.
yeah.
Okay.
Because it's literally whichever way you are, it's hard because if you try like just your hand, you're able to move around the arm stuff like. But you would pin your body weight with the forearm on the elbow, the crease of the elbow. It's hard for them to get out of there.
Interesting. Huh. Oh, that makes sense.
I'm not sure GSP used to do it back in the day. I have to look on his fight. It's like something GSP will do whenever you go side control and go for mount.
Think the okay. I'm not super familiar with a lot of pins, but that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, the good thing about that one, you can do it against bigger guys and it's demoralizing because even like smaller guys just can do that on somebody that's bigger. It's hard because they keep adjusting their hips. The more they try to adjust their hips away from you, the more you're driving over. And the more they adjust their hips away from you, the more they give you the back. Because they have to bring the shoulder off the mat
Yeah. Yeah.
and go to the back.
That's pretty cool.
Something you won't learn in ecological jiu-jitsu. It's not something we try to cover today.
Another topic. We talked a little bit about the UFC fights that just happened. We talked about some of the comebacks that like you've been sending me some of those stories. Those are pretty interesting. I mean, really, it's again, like we said in the last episode, is to not only come up strong, but to be brought down lower than you've ever been and then have to fight your way back up is unbelievably hard. And I think that's why those stories are so watched and so amazing to see, is because it's incredibly difficult. Most people can't or don't do that in their lifetime.
Yeah, like for example, like the Frank Mir story that I sent you about his wife telling the story, because at the time
Mm-hmm.
he was one of the youngest heavyweight champion, and he got a motorcycle, and he got in a motorcycle accident, and he tore his knee,
Mm-hmm.
and he got his belt stripped for him because he wasn't able to fight. Doctor told him that he wasn't able to fight ever again. They just, when you blew your knee, you broke your leg. Like, come on, pick something else. And that was his livelihood at the time. And like a lot of people, he got hooked on painkillers, which is a gateway that a lot of people, sadly, they get hooked on. And he he tried to do rehab, and his wife told him like come on, like one way that he can get you back to being the Frank Mir that you are is by doing the things I used to do before, just training, inviting things like that. He was still doing painkillers, like he was able to get him a fight. She had a close relationship with Joe Silva. That's all the matchmaking was back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, come on, we have to get him a fight. So you got him a fight, and he won the decision against the first guy. And then the second fight, he was doing, I think it was 5 days training, and then during the weekends he would still do like painkillers because say, typical, stereotypical excuses for going back in the wagon. And she said at the time he was like overweight and going to the fight, and she was afraid that he was going to lose that fight. He was going to lose his weight. She had to start from bottom again. And sure enough, he went against Brandon Vera as the prodigy at the time, and he lost against him. He got finished. I think it was in the first round or something like that. He got finished by Brandon Vera. And so she thought like he was going. He was like, okay, I'm not doing this again. And she got to talk with him like, come on, I need to stop being a bitch. You know, like you need to like do shit like you're supposed to. And she gave him one of those hard talks with him. You know, like he was like, fair enough. So I stopped doing painkillers and started training and got his diet in line, started working out, got off the pills, and came back and won his next fight. And that's the fight whenever you see her in this crowd just screaming like dramatic, like just like hysterically, just screaming because finally be able to get over the hump, be able to get away from that hard life and overcoming that monster that himself was fighting, that was himself, and be able to he work his way and fought for the interim title. 2009.
That is, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it only goes to show, I mean, having a solid support group is paramount as well. Because, I mean, maybe if it wasn't for her, he might not have ever had any motivation or reason to get back out of it. But
Having the feedback too is good. Mhm.
right, right.
Do you think that also applies in life too? Certain things, like not just fighting, like having a support system.
Without a doubt. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter what aspect of life it is. You can get knocked down and beat down, even in areas where, you were most confident, which fighting was his thing. He's a martial artist and, it's what he did. But you can get knocked down, and having a support group with a external perspective is, yeah, sometimes the deciding factor between recovery and not.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to give up than it is to to fight back.
Mhm.
Just anything you have a decision, you just don't do it or do it. You get better. Um, one extreme example. I know you've seen the video of Stuart Scott when he was fighting cancer. He talked about fighting because one thing he liked to do was MMA. He talked about fighting. Sometimes when you fight cancer, you don't have to fight it alone. You have other people that help you sometimes. They bring you food. They come in, just having moral support. His sister was there for moral support. His boss came in there with his business. Hey, you want to grab you some lunch? Hey, you're fighting it, but also you're not fighting alone. You have other people. You have a support system helping you. So whenever you lose the battle to cancer, you don't really lose the battle. You just tell the people help you fight alone and fight, keep on fighting for you. Like that's another example I can think of because some people, um, a lot of little bad things happen in life. If for some reason I always go back to being in the hospital because the hospital is one of the saddest places to be, and you have so few options. Because those are people that are think like we choose a sport and we choose our battles, but other people that are in the hospital, they're fighting battles in which they didn't pick fight, and they are fighting, literally fighting for their lives. And it is inspiring sometimes to see those people that come back from there. For Marcelo Garcia, for example, in the sport,
Yep.
he was fighting stomach cancer.
Yeah. He, that took him out of it for a little while. I can't remember how long it was, but it was a few years at least, wasn't it?
Yeah, he finally went through remission last year, but it's rough. Because I remember it was Gordon Ryan was doing a seminar for fundraiser for him too. But good thing is also surround yourself with good people too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's for sure. The right people will want to see you succeed and will try to help open doors. Because I thought it was pretty cool that, Frankner's wife was on there saying like she didn't do the work, he did all the work, but like she was there trying to, open doors and open avenues for him to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
He had to take the steps, but she was the one trying to like open up routes for him to go that would lead to success.
Should we consider catalyst?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's not really the reaction. She's just the get it
Right.
going.
Exactly.
It's like you just need a little push. Just like you have just a little push to get you off the rail. Also, you have a little push to get you on the right path.
Seems like most of the time that's all it is. All that's really needed. A little push. I mean, it seems like a lot of recovery stories are not somebody who's, forced to succeed. It's just a little bump in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully they find it.
And then that
somebody help them along the way. So hopefully they have find it, because if you don't find somebody, like, you just lost in your way.
Right. Yeah. But that's where that external perspective comes in, because like him being on painkillers, he's not thinking about fighting. Mm-hmm. He's not thinking about, probably not thinking about how to develop his future and, get back to where he was.
I'm not sure you had this correct, but for some reason I think painkillers, they kill your dopamine system. They kill your dopamine system because you're neurotransmitter. So your reward system is jacked.
Believable. I mean, they said that painkillers tend to lead to depression. Mm-hmm. So that would make sense that they were, messing with your dopamine.
Which is your chemical brain chemistry.
That's next level for sure. For you to, I mean, that's the thing. There's a lot of days of training when it's not going well, and like it's a quiet car ride home and you don't have that dopamine there. Yeah. But like if you just never had the dopamine, like, ooh, to keep training, that takes some effort.
Yeah. It's a dark world. You see everything black and gray.
No, that was a really, really cool story to see. I hadn't heard that in that much detail. I mean, I've heard the name quite a bit, but I didn't realize the depth of the story.
Yeah. He became a Hall of Famer. I mean, first guy to knock out Nogueira and first guy to submit Nogueira with breaking his arm.
Yeah.
It's not like he's a kind of like, I want to say people that do drugs are dumb, but it's like a really like well-read person. Like everywhere you see him, he has like a book reading all the time. And he's like elaborate when he speaks. He's like he likes the reason he learns just because he intellectually he learned different things. Because I mean they have a match with him versus Roy Nelson back in the day. Skinny Roy Nelson. When they were against each other, he'd been there for a while. But just because you're intellectual doesn't mean you have a strong will.
Right.
There's no correlation.
Right. No, I fully believe that. I mean, yeah, it's yeah, definitely it's one of those things like that's a hard situation because you're, his knee was completely messed up. So I imagine that was incredibly painful.
Mhm.
So he did need the meds, but yeah, I don't know. Just like how do you not get addicted to it at that point when you're reliant on them for a decent period of time?
So like no, also your will, yeah, that it takes for you to get off it because what's his name? Um, Joy Diaz. He was talking about that, but he wasn't on painkillers. He was on Xanax.
Mhm.
And whenever he was get out off of it, he he had to get a knee surgery. So whenever he got his blood work done, his doctor told him, "Hey man, I need to talk to you." Apparently, you almost had you had a like you have like what they call it metabolizing your system, which shows that you had a heart attack. He didn't know about it. Apparently, he was having withdrawals from getting out of stuff doing Xanax. You're not supposed to like wing it out. You just like cold turkey. His body just went into shock. He didn't
Wow.
know about it. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it's not just a mental reliance either, then it's your body is really, really
yeah.
crazy.
I think that's. I'm not sure if that's true, but this about alcohol. Have you remember Amy Whitehouse? They said that's the reason why she died, because she went cold turkey. Her body just went into shock.
Really? That's fascinating. I really didn't know that.
But it depends on how long you're on certain substance too.
Yeah. Probably dosage as well. I'm surprised. So I guess painkillers aren't on a drug ban list.
Now because the prescription. No, they have other one. Like for example, it's a crystal meth. I think that's considered. It's kind of like the same. But that's the street version of the painkillers. Because a lot of people that are on or also with heroin too. A lot of people that are on painkillers, that's they're not able to get it through medication, like through their doctors. They're able to get a prescription, so they go the other way, the street way, because still, I think the body's still used to doing those. I can't remember what was the name of the family in which they were. Is it Percocet? Remember that the Percocet and those kind of painkillers back in the Oxycontins, they used to have like documentaries about them. This family that have a lot of people that started getting hooked on street drugs was because of that they were like not able to get that medical strength, so they were trying to do other kind of street drugs. And I think about those drugs, you build a tolerance for them, so you want to up kick it up, keep getting the fix, so you can start feeling it again. It eventually gets lethal. An example of that would be, you remember Seymour Hoffman, the actor?
Hoffman.
Yeah, Seymour Hoffman. He's a really, really talented actor. He was in Hunger Games. Philip Seymour Hoffman. That's his name. He was addicted to heroin back in the day, and he had gone and he stopped. He went to rehab. He had stopped doing it, and in 2014, he like remission. He started trying to do it again, and he tried to start doing it the same strength that he was doing back in the day, and he overdosed because your body stopped doing it. Like whenever you go
Yeah.
back at it,
Dang. Yeah. Yeah. It didn't have the tolerance that he used to.
try looking here what causes death. Okay, February 2nd, 2014, he was found dead in a bathroom in his Manhattan apartment by his friend. He's 46 years old. He stated that Hoffman's drug use was under control at the time. The executive search of the apartment found heroin and prescription medication at the scene and revealed that he had syringes in his arm. Hoffman's death was officially ruled an accident caused by acute mixed drug intoxication, including heroin, cocaine, and benzodiazepines and amphetamines. Yeah, that's
Holy shit. That's
a lot.
That is.
They try to party. You know what I'm talking about? Do
What's
you know
that?
what I'm talking about? The actor? Yeah. He's like good actor. I hated him in Mission Impossible. His Ghost Protocol.
I don't remember him in that, but
He was a villain in that one.
okay.
This Ghost Protocol, I can't remember. But I hated him in that movie. Let me show that's the one he was in. That's when Tom Cruise had his wife in there. Katie Holmes. That's his girlfriend in that movie.
Okay.
But he was a good villain. But yeah, that's the thing about that's what I said. A lot of people that are currently on street drugs like those, like crystal meth and heroin, are because they were hooked on painkillers and then they're not able to get it through the legal way, so they have to still want to get that fix.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody just
Okay.
hurt their back in the job and then you prescribe a bunch of painkillers from the get go. Then you start and your body's like, oh shit, they crave it like water.
I wonder if there's any attempts to like not prescribe those for major injuries for that reason. I wonder if there's alternatives.
I'm not sure because pain is part of the process for healing. Inflammation too, but to a certain extent. But I'm not sure how much of it controls the inflammation. You know, like you still, for example, you have a knee surgery. Most of them are outpatient surgeries, so they cannot control in the hospital. In the hospital, you can control the dosage of what you take. You have a pen or you have a nurse that comes give you medication. But it's outpatient, they give you a whole bottle and you just take it home.
Yeah.
How do you control that?
Yeah. That'd be way harder.
Yeah, I'm terrible with pain medication. I don't like taking pain meds. Like, hey, if I'm hurt, I know I'm hurt. Like, for some reason, I think if I'm hurt, I want to know where I'm hurt at. So whenever I'm rolling, yeah, I try to avoid getting that part injured. And then, like, just work around it or things like that. And also, pain that means, like, it's healing. It's like, just keep an eye on the swelling part and your range of motion, things like that, yes. But that means that your body's trying to heal. That's what it means. Like for me, like, that's what I'm
Right.
taking. Like, well, it's supposed to hurt. Kind of like when you lift weights, your muscle breaks and you just feel sore. Kind of like that, but it's usually body letting you know, like, hey,
Right. Plus, I mean, it's a defense system for your body to keep you from overdoing
yeah.
it.
Because me, you take that pain meds and you start doing something and you actually injure yourself more because you didn't feel the pain in that area.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I'm not a big medicine person in general, to be honest. I don't like taking a lot of it. I like my body to be able to fight its own battles.
Yeah. My wife,
as much as possible.
she makes fun of me because one time I was feeling sick and I took NyQuil and I called out for the next day because I was still like, I don't want to wake up, man. I'll just call out.
I can't wake up.
I think the funny thing, I call out of work for the day and still show up to work like half a day. Well, I still work half a day because I'm fine now.
That's funny.
Like, so when you sick, like, no, man, it's NyQuil. I took NyQuil last night. Couldn't get ready for work, man. Terrible tolerance.
That's funny.
Whenever, like, I take, like, NyQuil or I take, like, Benadryl for, like, sinus stuff like that. And she's like, hey, oh, here you go. You know, I'll call out of work tomorrow. I know, man.
Good. That's
Yeah.
good.
But so that you're sick, you have to take shit, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, because viruses are freaking evil.
Yeah. I have heard some doctors are starting to prescribe things like antibiotics less because apparently with the rates that antibiotics are being prescribed now, some of the like infections are becoming immune to it, or they're developing resistance to the antibiotics, which that's a pretty scary thing if you think about it. You
Yeah.
know?
Because have you ever seen those bottles that say kill 99.9% of bacteria?
Mhm.
It's usually, I learned that in microbiology. Usually that one part, like the 0.1%, if you're able to find that culture or just building itself, like within those they're like a big size of that. So you have built a strength, for example, the MRSA strength. And usually methicillin you use it for fighting any kind of infection, but as the MRSA is methicillin resistant Staphylococcus aureus, which is staph, but you develop a immunity to methicillin. That's what they call it MRSA. It's just because it just evolved into its
Yeah.
own infection, which the main antibiotic they use to fight it doesn't work.
Gee,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
scary.
that
That is.
biology is scary.
It is. It's terrifying.
Thank you, Darwin. Evolution.
Hey.
It does make sense. Now that makes sense that you're saying that they're not they're more resistant to prescribing antibiotics because my wife, whenever she goes there, whenever we take our daughter to the hospital, they'll say, "Oh, it's just a virus." Yeah, oh, it's something like, dude, like what kind of everything's just a freaking virus. Try to figure out how to get healthy. But then give
Yeah.
us something. She like, I mean, we do what we're supposed to do. From home, we want to keep the fever away, but this thing just lingered. What is it? Give us something so you can get rid of it.
Yeah. No, it's just something I've heard going around, but it makes sense to me. Like, yeah, you don't want to overuse something to the point that it's not useful anymore.
It also it tests your gut biome. Take so many antibiotics and look up Go Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, that messed him up. I mean, there's a lot of things that antibiotics do. Don't they drain your energy
Your
typically?
cardio goes to shit.
Yeah.
It's like it is an art. That's why what's the name? I remember Aldo when he found Mark Hominick in Canada. He was on antibiotic and he was just drained. Luke Rockle when they found Bisping the first time, he was drained too. No, we found Chris Wyman for the title. He was on antibiotics as well. But yeah, it's horrible. I remember when they were being on antibiotics for my sinus infection, stuff like that. Dude, whenever I go lift, I was like, dude, fighting for my life over here.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on, man? I'm able to push more than this, but not today. Today it's not.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah. That's crazy stuff. Like it's definitely has its use and has to be used at some points, but boy, does seem to have some consequences for your body.
Yeah. So like, is the antibiotic fighting the virus and fighting your body at the same time?
Well, I think isn't part of the problem with antibiotics is it doesn't discriminate at all, and you have good and bad.
Nuking everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Just cleans everything out. So
That's what we say a lot for so long. No, something as simple. You should take people out. Never mind. I think it was somebody else, but no, she died from that in my last year. She had some sort of cancer. But back in the day, people used to die from just like typical like common cold because they have antibiotics and
right.
things like that.
Yeah.
She had Hodgkin lymphoma. That's what it was. That's the wrong way to go. Well, yeah, back in the day, you have the cold. It's game over. A lot of people that were building the canal, like yellow fever, malaria, things like that, took a lot of people out. In which, to this day, the most dangerous animal in Africa is the mosquito.
Yeah. Yeah. Those things. Yeah. It's no joke what they carry.
Yeah. So maybe they make an army of mosquitoes.
It's very off topic, but I heard at one point they were breeding a strain of mosquitoes that had a shorter lifespan, so they could release them and they would die faster. So they would like mix with the existing population.
I heard about that they use that in Disney World because whenever I was there, I was in Animal Kingdom. I seen the mosquitoes. It's swampy. It's hot in Florida, but there's no mosquitoes there. I was like, how are they able to have no mosquitoes in? Because anywhere else, you go swampy area or humid.
Right. It's horrible.
Yeah. And whenever you came down here to North Carolina, started living here, how many mosquitoes were down here compared to up north?
Well, to be honest, up north is way
Yeah.
worse. Oh, it's so much worse. I'm not kidding you. There's times when you walk outside in Maine, like especially at dusk, and you can't breathe without getting them in your nose. It's
You had to wear a
horrible.
mask back then just because of
Yeah, yeah, no lie. It is terrible. Yeah. They say the mosquito is the Alaskan state bird, which I believe it because they're even farther
yeah.
north. But I don't know what it is they like about these cold, wet areas, but they love it.
I think it's because it's dark. Is that what they reproduce most of the time?
That could be, yeah. But I mean, Maine's got rivers and ponds everywhere, just naturally occurring. So it is a very wet place anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
How do you
But those
bicycle?
and black flies.
How do you ride
Huh?
your bicycle?
Yeah.
Damn it! It's like a mosquito.
Yeah.
Then you ride your bike like a beekeeper. Hey, that's not the helmet you're supposed to wear for riding a bike. And when you come home smiling, you see your tuxedo between your teeth.
Yeah. No, it's no lie though. I would wear like my motorcycle helmet and it would just be covered by the time I got home.
You have to wear a windshield wiper on your helmet.
Yeah. Yeah. Little Windex and a rag in between.
Oh yeah, every stoplight you have to hit it up. Hit it with that. Oh, again, mosquito repellent.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But
But yeah, those things are terrible. I heard
mhm.
a conspiracy theory about. Have you ever heard Lyme disease? It usually
Yeah.
it's usually predominantly in the East Coast.
Good question. I think so. I know it's very, very common up in Maine.
Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, and upper Midwest regions. Not
Midwest, really?
not in
Okay.
the Northwest. That's
Hmm.
weird.
It is.
I think you think Lyme disease is part of the 30 colonies? The reason?
Well, there's the worst one that's than Lyme disease. It's the
The Longhorn,
what's
the
that?
Longhorn tick.
Yeah, the one that makes you
I
allergic
mean
to
the
red
Lone
meat.
Star. That's what it is. Lone Star tick.
Lone Star tick. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know somebody that has that.
I do as well.
Disease. Like this person is allergic even to chicken. Anything that's
Really?
meat, like gummy bear stuff like that. Gummy because it's gelatin. Allergic to.
The guy I know of, he can eat chicken, but that's about it. So like one restaurant that apparently you can go to is Buffalo Wild Wings because apparently they keep their chicken segregated out from the other meats, so he can eat it that way. But that I cannot imagine. That would be,
So at that point you become
especially if it could
at that point you become pescatarian.
pescatarian.
Yeah, like because only like vegetables and fish.
I mean, yeah, I guess you'd have to be. I wonder if they can eat like salmon. It's red meat, but it's not.
Mhm.
I don't know.
The salmon and tuna.
Yeah,
No sure.
I'm curious.
But what a way to live, man.
Yeah,
Biology, man.
for real.
Back to Lyme disease. I heard there's a conspiracy theory that there was a virus that was started in DC. That's why it spread out on the East Coast. That was the Lyme disease.
I think I've heard the same thing. Yeah. What was it? Like Long Island or something like that? That was like the lab area. I
What's
can't
it?
remember what it's called. One of the theories I heard is there's a island off the East Coast that they used for like it's top secret island or something like that. They don't let people on it.
Yeah, but yeah.
And they were
How many,
theorizing that that's where they
yeah.
developed it.
How many times you fuck up at your job? Pretty sure somebody has done that. In one of those kind of jobs, like, oh shit, I left
Yeah.
a mosquito in my pocket. I left a tick in my pocket. Damn it.
Yeah.
Brought it home. I had a kid,
Yeah.
off topic, but like something like that happened. When I was in high school, they had to bring the elementary school kids to our school at the high school because one of the kids from elementary school, their dad worked at AC and he brought mercury to the school. He said magic water, that's what they call it. So they shut down the whole school because he was playing around, giving to other kids to play around with mercury.
Gee.
I mean, Killing me the fumes of that thing.
Yeah, magic
Yeah.
water. Yeah, that's good.
Damn it.
That guy did not know what he was
Yeah.
doing. Holy shit.
Elementary school kids, man. Show and
Hmm.
tell.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool stuff, but
Control.
like, yeah, yeah, right. That's funny.
Because that's what, how does this come from, right?
Mhm. I believe so.
That's what used to use in the hat.
Well, it's mercury and lead, was it not?
What's up?
Didn't that's it? I thought they used lead as well.
Did it too?
Thought so. Yeah, 'cause, I mean, I think lead has gone in like paint and stuff for a while.
Yeah. I heard that if for the movie of The Wizard of Oz, they use asbestos for the scene of the snow. Yeah. So can you imagine the damage they...
They're really trying to make this real,
yeah.
huh?
Yeah, for the like the original Wizard of Oz, there's so many theories about that Wizard of Oz. The, like, for example, that one was one of them. Then they had like, of course, the other one of the guy hanging from the back whenever she's like going down the yellow brick road. They say one of the Oompa Loompas was actually hung himself, and you can see the body just hanging in the back.
Really?
Yeah, that,
My gosh.
see if I can look it up. I don't know if YouTube will have it
I would doubt it.
because they said that this is not Oompa Loompas, but the little like little people. They were from a circus. Like they didn't even speak English. I'm getting confused with Willy Wonka because they also have bitches in there. But this is here. See it?
Damn.
Oh,
That does look suspicious. Oh my gosh.
yeah. Is everybody counted for in this studio?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, man. So I think that girl that they did the whistle was the paint. Her paint. I can't remember what these were. The paint. That her skin was like dyed like that for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, man, CGI. There was what?
Yeah. Yeah, they were just sending it with whatever they had on it.
Speaking with green paint that was made with copper, and and you guessed it. Let's also talk about sick. She was forced to not eat for hours as ingestion of the paint could have poisoned her. It's crazy. Also, what you need.
Yeah, for real. Things you do for showbiz.
Yeah. With that, showbiz, are we staying up late too?
Nope. I think we about covered it for today.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Try to cover as much as you can about what we know about ecological jiu-jitsu for today. Other random topics as well. Thank you for bearing with
Ecological, ecological jiu-jitsu to the Wizard of Oz.
Yes, that's ecological too. Wearing copper on your face. But thank you again for listening. Bear with us. You can listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, Radio, and iTunes. Until next time, thank you very much.